I'm Robbie Rist. I played Michelangelo in the three live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies from the 90s.
Hey everybody, I'm Ken Scott. I was in the first two Ninja Turtle movies as Raphael, and also in the first one as the fellow Chucker that goes against Michelangelo.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm with a distinguished group of people here. Wow. Now, I'm Brian Tochi, and I played Leonardo in the first, second, and third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Come on, you dude!
Hi, I'm Francois Chau, and I was the Shredder in the second movie, Secret of the Ooze.
Not only do you have to say yay, you have to go Shredder, boo.
Kino.
Yeah!
And hello, check 1, 2.
Get on this mic.
Hello. Oh, there you go. And fun fact, I did stunts for Donatello in the OG film.
Yeah, you did.
So Brian, this is for you. Real quick, when you're playing Leonardo, where do you grab the inspiration, and was it the same through all movies that inspired you to play him?
Oh, good question.
Interesting. Well, you know what? The thing is, it's an acting thing. And you kind of get a sense, I mean, the director kind of guides you as to what they're looking for. You read the script and you kind of get a sense of what it works. So for me, I mean, what was so interesting, what made, I think, the Turtles so great is even though they're people in a suit, what made, I think, it so resonate to so many people is that it had heart. It really meant a lot to people, and there was emotion, and there was really touching elements to them, and they were real brothers who loved each other. So I think you take, personal experience and you apply it. I mean, for me, we have certain vocal ranges that we do. You can tell Robbie's so uniquely Michelangelo. You can hear his voice. You can hear it, and so me,
Maybe
so
a little too Mikey
in real life. And so, I kind of ratchet it up to get a little higher, to give it that whole kind of thing. But, you have to, but you emote and you reach out and you do that kind of thing. So it really is just an actor acts, as it were.
Whoa, an actor acts.
An actor acts.
Put that on a fortune cookie.
Yeah, right. Now, I used to have a director, Howie Morris, the famous Howie Morris. And the way he would direct, an actor, instead of giving him, lines or whatever, he'd just basically look at me and go, act better. Act better. Actors and directors.
Out of any of the three, what was your favorite scene to film?
Come on,
Ern. Let's see. Out of all the three, for me, obviously the second film was a totally different experience because I went from doing stunts in the first film to actually being an actor in the second film, so it was completely different. I loved actually doing the first Ninja Turtles. It was actually the first time that I had ever worked as a stuntman. I grew up making films and television since I was a kid, just as an actor who had always did my own stunts and did my own martial arts. But this was the first time that I was like signing up to just be a stuntman. And originally, as it's been mentioned, that Golden Harvest was coming over to America to film an American production, and it was the first time that they were actually bringing over Hong Kong stuntmen to work on an American production. And at that time, from the 80s probably to the early 90s, Hong Kong like stunts, especially when it came to like, martial arts and action with Jackie Chan and everything, they were kind of like doing things that were, more dangerous, more exciting, better fight scenes than what we were doing over here in America. So this was the first time that they were bringing over these Hong Kong stunt guys, and one of them hurt his back during pre-production, and that's how I got called in to work on the movie. And And so, but the second movie was amazing too, because I had seen this whole kind of process from, it was kind of all like the stars aligning. The one guy who, was from Hong Kong who hurt his back. If he never would have hurt his back, I would have never, been in that position. And then I got into that position, and the producers, created the character of Kino for me, knowing that they were going to bring me back. But one of the coolest scenes for me, outside of the mall fight, the mall fight scene, opening sequence in Ninja Turtles, that was the best scene for me. Like, filming, it was just, and then when I saw it for the first time on screen, I was like, holy, that was like amazing, And it was amazing too, and I'm just gonna, so the first time, when I first saw the first movie, I believe I just went to a cast and crew screening. And I can't remember exactly where it was. I think it was in Santa Monica or something like that. And then the second movie, we had this huge premiere. It was the Universal Cineplex. They had 18 movie theaters. They have what's now called City Walk, which is where you go up and down and there's all the story. There was no City Walk. There was just the theaters. And they had all 18 theaters all playing Ninja Turtles. And every major, like, A-list celebrity was there. I'm talking like Robin Williams and Danny DeVito, and I heard Spielberg was sneaking around, Ted Danson. Like A-list people, so it was a crazy experience. But as far as filming, I love this in the second film for me. My favorite scene was when we were in April's apartment and Splinter was telling me the origin story of the Turtles. I was like, wow, this is crazy that I was just there, and it was just last summer, and we were doing stunts, and now I'm here, and having a major role. But it was all amazing. It's like we could talk here for like 10, 15 hours straight. We're trying to pick things to say, but it's all amazing, and it's awesome to be here after all these years. See multi-generation of people who become fans, parents showing their kids the movies, just all around awesome.
So do you have any favorite behind the scenes funny moments that happened behind the scenes, or just any cool moments from behind this from shooting the movie?
Like when we all got naked and went on set. True.
I know what my question's going to be now.
Didn't realize it was that kind of a movie.
Yeah. Anything?
Nothing good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
There's so many that you can read all about them in my book, Teenage Mutant. No, there was a whole lot of great moments and a whole lot of fun. Different times stand out, and we could answer this question for the next hour. But I will say that for me, two of the moments that stood out that weren't necessarily so personal but cool was meeting Jim Henson and meeting Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, who created the Ninja Turtles. So on the first movie, Eastman and Laird came to visit the set, and they were like two kids running around. They were young guys, and they were watching their vision be turned into a real movie. So they were it was like they were in an amusement park, but they brought comics with them, and they were autographing comics and giving them to different people in the crew. So to this day, I still have my original autographed Ninja Turtle comic from Eastman and Laird. And then Jim Henson, I grew up on Kermit the Frog and the Muppet Show and all that. So when he walked onto set, it was kind of like seeing like a tall puppet Jesus, and it was really cool.
What's really cool, actually? I think the best thing, first of all, I get asked, what's your favorite film of the Ninja Turtles? I would say the first one. And it's because it was the first one. It was so, first of all, let me just say this. There was a small little company called Golden Harvest, which is a little Chinese company, and they did the Bruce Lee movies and such. They acquired the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. So what happened is they wanted to do a movie, so they came to the United States, and they wanted a domestic partner. So they went to Universal, they went to 20th Century Fox, they went to Disney, they went to Paramount, they went to Warner Bros., and there was always a no, we don't want to do it. A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? I don't know what that is. So there was this little company called New Line Cinema. And they were only known for the Freddy movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And so what they did is they said, well, we'll go take a chance with, this thing called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. And so what happened was they put the team together, production team, then they put the cast together and such, and they started shooting. From my perspective, why is he laughing about it? Brian's yakking too much there.
No. I was yelling. I was creating room for you to be brilliant.
Oh no! But I just want to say that what's funny is they put the production team together, they put the cast together. I was not a part of that cast. Boo! Like Shredder. Boo! So they started production, but then I heard they fired the guy for Leonardo. Yay! And then they hired somebody else. Boo! But then they fired him. Yay! And it just so happened that somebody mentioned that Brian Tochi...
And he's homeless now.
Yeah. Oh, boo. Oh. And so I was on a project, and I got off, and somebody mentioned to the producer, said, Brian Tochi is available. Do you think he might be interested in doing this thing called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies? So I call my agent, and they go, would Brian be interested in it? I said, no, I don't do horror movies. And they go, no, it's not a horror film. It's these turtles that are in the sewer. A little ooze comes on them, and they grow up to be these karate badasses with little surfer Ben. I said, yeah, I think I can do that. And so they hired me. Yay! I decided. So I'd have to say the first one, just because it was the first one, is my favorite of the things. I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you, Brian.
Now I'll go to sleep now.
Sorry, I was only in the second one, so I don't really care about any of those things. And I have no funny backstory that I was. No, I'm kidding. I just have. It's been 35 years, so I don't remember too much stuff.
Age has set in.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
What else we got?
What else
Thank
we
you for
got?
the question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question. Thank you.
The worst part on working on the movie.
What was the worst,
Worst part?
We weren't paid enough.
Yeah.
Mic drop. The worst part for being on the set working on the movies was wearing a Ninja Turtle costume. When you're wearing, as a stunt guy, you're wearing 35 pounds of stuff, 35 pounds of stuff. As an actor with all the remote controls and the computer under your shell, you're wearing like 60 pounds worth of stuff. You can't see anything, you can't hear anything, you're sweating like crazy because you're wearing just a whole bunch of rubber, and you're doing this for hours and hours at a time. So people always say, hey, was it fun to make Ninja Turtles? And the answer is no, it wasn't fun, it sucked. But it was super exciting to be a part of it, and that was the fun part. Everything we were doing, we were making movies, but it was really very physically challenging. It was very, very hard.
Didn't the crew build a special chair for the...
Yeah, we couldn't sit down because you can't sit down with a turtle shell. It pushes you out of the chair. So they had to make us these special, like, it looked like a sawhorse, and you straddle it, and it had a thing where you could put your arms like this, and you just sat forward all the day, and you couldn't scratch an itch because you were sealed up in this rubber suit, and you couldn't make contact with yourself. You could have this whole sort of existential experience where everything just went haywire. Like it's gonna... No.
I was going to say, it's really kind of an interesting thing, your story. In Ken's book, I actually read it, and I really liked it. But it was kind of an interesting thing for Ken, because how did you get this role? Because this was kind of a dream thing for you. Dream role come true.
Brian, I really appreciate that question. So in short, basically, ever since I was 13 years old, I wanted to be an action hero in the movies. I wanted to be Ernie Reyes Jr. because I was watching him make Last Dragon and Red Sonja and TV shows. And I'm only a few years older than Ernie, and he was younger, but he was doing everything I wanted to do. So I was like, man, I want to do that stuff. So what ended up happening was they shot Ninja Turtles in North Carolina, where I grew up. And they hired a bunch of local martial artists from the local karate schools to be the foot soldiers to get beat up by the turtles. So my first job was I got hired to be a foot soldier. But then what happened was, just kind of like Ernie on the first movie when the stunt guy got hurt, the guy who was Raphael in the scene in Central Park where he meets Casey Jones, and Casey Jones is like, pulls out a cricket bat. He's like, cricket? You got to know what crumpet is to understand cricket. When he hits Raphael and Raphael sails through the air and lands in the trash can, Raphael broke his nose. And from that point forward, and that's early in the movie, he couldn't wear the turtle costume anymore. So the producers were, on a movie set, time is money. So they were like, we got to replace this guy fast. So they went to the stunt coordinator, Pat Johnson, and said, who do you think could be Raphael? And he came, he got me, and he said, if you can fit in the Raphael costume, you're the new Raphael.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Cinderfella.
So I took my fat up to the Jim Henson's place, and this suit was made for a guy from Hong Kong who weighed 125 pounds. And I was 145 pounds at my best fighting weight. And so I sucked my stomach in and I crammed myself into that Ninja Turtle suit. They plopped the head on me and they're like, okay, you're the new Raphael. So I went from Ninja to Raphael all in one movie.
I hope that answers your question.
And this is how he used to talk because he was in the suit. He couldn't fit.
So hopefully that answered your, what's the worst part of the movie? I guess that was the answer.
When you guys saw it all together for the first time, right? You guys, voices on screen, in suit, you guys in the second one, what you guys initially think when you first saw it? Like, actually got down the screen. Did you guys get to like see the movie before it came out? You hear yourself?
The first thing I did was go, I would have read that differently knowing that's how they were going to cut that. But other than that, then I was like, this is a really pretty novel idea for a movie, you know. I loved it from that point on. After I managed to take myself out of it, very, very difficult for an actor to do. Because I'm like, I just want to hear my lines. Oh, I'm so good. After I got out of my own way, I really love the movie. What? What?
I mean, it was phenomenal. It was so different. It was so unique. I mean, when I saw it, I go, whoa! Put it all together. It was something I've never seen before, and evidently a lot of people felt the same way, and they had to come back and see it again. And what was so cool about it is that this first movie became, from this little tiny movie that nobody wanted to be a part of, to become the number one, the most successful independent film in the history of film, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was because of all of you people like you. And what was so amazing is that it was a lot of the audience were paying half price because they were kids coming back over and over and over again to see it. And it was, for me, it was such an experience to actually see it on the big screen.
It would have, it would have made like Titanic numbers if it was adult tickets that they were selling. Yeah, the movie made what, 175 million or something,
But
and
that's in $1990.
and then double that.
Triple that.
Crazy. So yeah.
I think when you make a movie, what's interesting about it is you spend 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is for that schedule, working in front of the camera, doing things, and not always knowing exactly what the camera's looking at, or how it's looking at it, or how they're going to put it together. So when you do things on the set, you have one perspective and view of it, but then when you see it in the movie theater, now you're seeing it through the eyes of the camera, which you had no opportunity to see while you were there. So you're seeing it like in a whole different way. And when that starts to happen, you go, oh, that's what it looked like. That's what this was. Like the Shredder's costume. When you look on screen and you see the Shredder's costume, it looks like it's made out of this like metallic chainmail kind of stuff that he's wearing, I think. But when you're on set with him, it's actually made out of like polyester with these little silver threads running through it. It's just a soft material. So when you're live on set, you're like, oh, look at this soft thing he's wearing. But then on the camera, you're like, wow, this guy's wearing some cool armor and stuff. So those kinds of revelations happen over and over, and you go, wow, that looks a lot cooler than I thought. The negative side of it is, when I was doing the fight scenes as Raphael, especially the first one where Raph saves April O'Neil in the subway from the foot soldiers, Pat Johnson, the fight choreographer, said, what do you want to do? What do you think Raph would do? And I said, well, I want to run out and I want to do a jumping double front kick. And at the time, I was young, I was in shape, I could get 6 feet in the air and do that kick. It was pretty awesome. I ran out in this turtle suit, this 35-pound turtle suit. I jump up, I kick, and man, I jumped 6 feet in the air. It was beautiful. Came back down. Months later, I go to see the movie. Raph comes running out. He jumps. He goes about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground and kicks his feet like this. And I was like, man, it felt like I was a lot higher than that. So that's the trade-off.
That's funny, actually.
For the villain.
What's it like to have the face of the villain that people can recognize outside of the movie? And also in our movie, guys.
Thank you.
So he asked him, what's it like to have the face of a villain that's recognized outside the movie?
And hated the world over. Boo! The evil Shredder. Boo!
It's great. The only downside is I get stopped a lot at TSA. I get stopped a lot at border crossings and stuff because I don't know if I was driving back from Tijuana one time and I got stopped because I'm not sure why. The guy said, "Oh, go pull over there to that, to the area there. We're gonna check you." I said, "Okay." I got stopped when I was doing a film in Sri Lanka. I was standing in line waiting to get on the plane, and the guys came over and said, "Hey, come with us." And I think they thought I was like a drug dealer, and they were gonna cut my shoes open to check out, because they do that. So I was like, okay, I think you...
It's that subconscious thing,
I think
where they know your face.
Yeah.
So they equate that with all things evil.
Or I said, they've watched too many movies and films and stuff. I'm not that guy.
I'm really nice.
Yeah. No, but it's great. It's not, And there's no villains. We're not villains. We're just, misunderstood.
My question is for Robbie. What was it like going back to the 2012 TMNT series? Because you were Armando Gecko.
Yeah, so I show up for the first day of work, and I don't know, I did 3 or 4 episodes, not very much.
Michael.
Okay. I show up for it's 4 episodes or something. It's not like a tremendously big job. But so I show up for my first day of work, and I'm like, so what do you want me to do with this guy? And the producer of the show goes, just do Michelangelo. I'm sorry, what? He goes, yeah. It's a callback thing. Because in that version, you have Corey Feldman. Right. So I think we all, like a bunch of us, were you in the 2012? Never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry.
Why did you bring it up?
Now I feel terrible.
Why?
I just assume you get every job. That's all. So, but there were some of us anyway in that cartoon, and it was totally about a callback to the movies because the producer was a really big fan of the first movie.
I think it is important to have veteran actors who work on certain franchises to work on for continuing the generation.
Oh yeah, call him back. The guy who plays Immortan Joe in the last couple of Road Warrior movies, he's in the first one. Yeah. Also, and that's he's Toe Cutter. Yeah, so it's so they called him back after however many years, a lot of years, Yeah, no, and it does. It lends a certain kind of strengthening to the timeline. Calling people back.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
Hugh Keysburg. That's his name. Hugh Keysburg.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
He's so great.
Yeah. How does it feel to be an underrated character that never came back?
Wow.
Great.
The question was, you played Keno in the second movie, and how does it feel to have played an underrated character who did not come back?
Yeah, I felt great. I felt great. Yeah, that'd be cool. It would be cool to see Keno come back to the Ninja Turtle universe. That'd be sick. Maybe the last Ronin or something like that. That'd be cool.
You own your own chain of pizza places and teach martial arts.
This little jump there. Go write the script.
I'm still busy writing Karate Christmas.
In the second movie, Vanilla Ice did a song for that movie in a music video. Were you guys in that music video, and did you guys get to meet Vanilla Ice? And what was he like?
I was in the makeup chair, and this guy walks in with a whole bunch of people, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "What's happening? Who's this guy?" And I didn't even know who he was. And it's like, "Oh, it's Vanilla Ice," and it's like, and I was still like, "Who?" I mean, I don't know if anybody really got to talk to him because he kept to himself, and he was just surrounded. He's like typical sort of, musician surrounded by all his entourage, and it's not like you can sit down and say, "Hey, how's it going?" But yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. I don't know.
I'm on his album.
Wait, I'm gonna throw you Ninja Vanilla Ice. So Vanilla Ice came on, I think it was his 21st or 22nd birthday while he was on the set, and they celebrated and they had a little party for him, and it was adorable. But the one thing, you said nobody talked to him. The one thing I did, he had just come out with Ice Ice Baby, I think, and that was the thing that kind of took him over the top. And at the end of the song, he says, "Word to your mother." And I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I got a question for you." And he said, "What?" I goes, "What does word to your mother mean? Why are you saying that?" He goes, "It's like word to your mother for having you." And I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool. I like it." So I gave him a lot of props for word to your mother.
That's a good story I've never heard.
The second movie, what would the oddest everyday object that you used to fight against the Foot Clan, like, weirdest to you?
I think that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you was thinking, like, what? How do I use this?
Well, you would have to ask, I think, Michelangelo, or was it Nick? I got a little cable issue. We're good. But because they were the ones in the suits, so all of that business that you see those guys do, and this goes out to Ernie and Ken also. You guys are real, it's really hard to convince people of things without using your face. Like your face, it's how you communicate most of your stuff. And these guys managed to communicate actually a pretty wide range of human emotions with just their bodies. In all three of these movies, it's actually a really impressive exercise in depending on how you want to use this term, real acting, because they can't rely on being cute or whatever just an actor outside of a suit does. It's almost like it's almost like mime, right? What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, I agree.
No,
and to answer directly, I think the sausages that he uses as nunchucks are the oddest thing that he had to fight with in the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We all get a little sideways on the questions, don't we?
I don't understand you guys.
Well, because I wasn't there doing the stuff with the suit. And so I turned into a suit thing where I was only praising you.
You did great, but I wasn't Michelangelo.
All right, fine.
Aside from yourself, whoever you played, who was your favorite character in each of the movies?
I personally liked Michelangelo because he had some great lines. And I was thinking, God, if I had a choice, I love all the turtles, but Michelangelo had all the best lines, I thought. And I think, well, Leonardo, he's a leader of the turtles, and he's got to be a little more sedate.
It's not true.
Yeah. As the leader, Leonardo, being the leader of the turtles, the leader.
Listen to the song.
Yeah. Song. Yeah. Anyway, I say Michelangelo would have been the fun one.
So Shredder had this assistant. I want to say, is it
Katsu.
Katsu?
Katsu with a T.
Katsu. That actor, again, gets a tremendous amount of mileage out of not really saying much. And again, this to me is like, in music they say it's not what you play, it's what you don't play. And a lot could be said for acting as well. And to be a character that implies everything with your face or that dude, what the heck is his name? He was the fish man in The Shape of Water. Doug Jones is his name. Doug Jones is 6'7", and he weighs about 80 pounds. And largely his career has been guys in rubber suits. So he's, did you ever see Pan's Labyrinth? Okay, he's that. He's everything. Yeah, he's everything. And again, here's a character just like Katsu, where he hardly speaks at all if he says anything, and he conveys so much loyalty to Shredder, so much like he really looks to me like a guy who maybe doesn't like his job all that much, but the perks are good, I guess. So for me, it's that guy.
About Tatsu, his name is Obata Sensei, and he I don't know if I would say that he's an actor.
He's a president.
Because he teaches Japanese swordsmanship. He has his own dojo. He's a well-known martial artist, and the way you see him on screen, we were filming the second movie in Wilmington, and when he's not filming, when he's in real life, that's how he dresses, and he just he's walking down the street in their little town. Exactly. And I spent some time with him, and we'd go to lunch or dinner or something, and he doesn't really speak any English either, so it's very hard to talk to him. But he really, he's very scary looking, and because he is scary.
He can kill you with a look, but he kills people before lunch.
He does.
Yeah.
But but he is really a great character because you just you go, man, you're the real thing.
My favorite character was April O'Neil.
What is your guys' favorite pizza?
Oh. Good question.
Yeah.
All right. So,
this guy here is Mr. Pizza himself. He's got a tattoo of a pizza on his leg. Yeah, right. With Brian's face on it. Yeah, that's not a pepperoni. That's my face. Yeah. But what's interesting is that when we have the joy of being able to go and meet a lot of people who enjoy Ninja Turtle movies, he maps out the different pizza places that are in the cities that we may visit. So what he'll do is he'll look and he'll do all his due diligence and he'll say, I know the pizza place to go to in this city. So
we went last night.
We went
to Pizzasaurus Rex.
Yeah, Pizzasaurus Rex.
All right. Apparently, there's a consensus.
Yeah.
Very good.
But he's our pizza leader in that regard. What kind of pizza do you?
I just want to acknowledge that Brian did acknowledge that Raphael is the leader in some way at that point. So, believe it or not, my favorite pizza when it's done right is anchovy. Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
And then there's various others. I used to love pepperoni and jalapeno was my favorite going on. Yep. But I'm not afraid of Hawaiian pizza either. I love that.
I'm all meat. I love meat. I'm a carnivore. Arr. But it's really funny. We were doing a show in a con in New York, and so he calls me up and says, "Brian, we got to go a day early, and we're gonna rent a car and we're gonna drive up from New York to New Haven, Connecticut, where they are famous for. There's these famous pizza places.
They're 100 years old.
100-year-old pizza places. Amazing." And so we actually rented a car and we drove up and we had the most amazing pizza. And even though I'm this carnivore, one of the pizzas I loved was a clam pizza with a white sauce with a little bacon on it. And it was brilliant, I tell you, brilliant.
We have a consensus in the back.
Yeah, clam chowder pizza. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Aaron, what's your favorite pizza?
I like margaritas.
Yeah.
I like a margarita.
Good pizza question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
Francois, what's your favorite pizza?
Of course, it has anchovies, and I mean, I know it's sacrilegious for some.
People are all
but,
diseased.
Yeah, no, it's sacrilegious for some, but the pineapple on a pizza is good.
It's good.
Yeah,
I'm
all
okay with
right.
I say it's bread, cheese, and tomato sauce.
Yeah.
It's really hard to screw that up.
What was your favorite part in The Last Dragon? Like, favorite scene?
What was Ernie's favorite part in The Last Dragon? Starring Ty Mock.
Yeah, The Last Dragon was the first movie that I ever did. Prior to that was just basically traveling around the country, competing and performing with my dad in the West Coast demonstration team. So The Last Dragon is that's like the first movie experience that I had ever had, and the entire thing was just amazing. And it's cool to see that there's like a cult following. So thanks for the question.
I just wanted to say something since I know we're getting out that time. You know, for me, and I know I can speak for some of us here on the dais, you know, one of the best things about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is actually getting a chance to meet all of you. I mean, you are so special to us. Really, give yourselves a hand. And we are so blessed to have been a part of something that really was more bigger than we ever thought would be. And the best thing is to be able to meet each of you, all of you. You guys are so terrific, and we're so blessed to get a chance to say hi, and hopefully you'll come say hello to us if we haven't already said hello already. But you guys really rock, and thank you so much for your support and your love.
Hey, I know we're going to wrap it up in a second, but I'm going to ask you guys a favor. Before you walk out the door, there's something we like to do at the end of all our panels. Once we get dismissed and we're done, if everybody can stand up, and we're all going to congregate right here and pack this part, and then we're going to take our phones and we're all going to do a cowabunga and a cheer and all that, and we're going to put it up on our